The new NAVIMOW robotic lawnmowers of the I-Series by Segway are undoubtedly two top-notch devices that have a lot to offer. But what about theft protection, and what should I do if I have no or only a poor Wi-Fi connection in my garden? With this small optional add-on module, Access Plus by Segway, these concerns are expected to be addressed in the future. However, what this little accessory really has to offer and how it performs in testing will be thoroughly examined in today's video. I'd say let's dive right in after the intro, but if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to never miss a video again. You can find the current prices of the robot to support this channel listed below in the video description. Thank you very much for your support, and let's get started. The Access Plus module by Segway promises us not only theft protection for our high-quality lawnmower, but also a cellular connection, allowing us to control and monitor the robot remotely without any hassle. This sounds extremely promising to me, but whether the module really delivers on its promises, we'll find out now. So let's start with what's in the package. The module comes in a small cardboard box with an illustration on the front, as you can see, without much else around it. Along with the actual module, we get a quick start guide, a 2.5mm Allen key, and that's it. There's nothing more included. The module itself appears relatively unremarkable, consisting of a black plastic housing with branding on the front and back. There's not much else to say about it, so let's look now at the installation process. The first step to installing the module is to remove the robot from the station and power it down. To do this, we hold down the power button for a few seconds until a message appears on the display. Then we can turn the robot upside down on the ground. To prevent the device from getting scratched, I would recommend placing a blanket underneath or performing the installation directly on the lawn. Thankfully, we don't need any tools for the installation as a suitable Allen key is included. Alternatively, we can use any other 2.5mm Allen key. On the underside of the robot, right at the front between the two steering wheels, we find a black plastic cover held in place by a total of 4 screws. With the Allen key, we loosen and remove all 4 screws and set them aside, as we'll need them again shortly. Once the screws are loosened, we can use the key as a hook to open the cover. Directly below, we now find the slot for the Access Plus module and the connection cable. On the back of the module, in turn, is the port where we insert the cable. Similar to an Ethernet cable, a small click signals that the plug is properly seated. Then, as shown in the video, we carefully slide the module into the slot and position the cable so that it does not interfere, as we need to put the cover back on. Before we mount the cover, however, we should double-check if the white rubber seal on the robot is clean to ensure that the device remains dust and splash-proof. Consequently, we can reassemble and tighten the cover with the 4 screws and the included Allen key. Flip the lawnmower over and slide it into the charging station or turn it on. Next, we switch to the NAVIMOW app. Once there, we first connect via Bluetooth to our lawnmower. Once this is done, as can be seen, the robot automatically recognizes the module and displays a message to that effect on the home screen. At this point, we can decide whether to activate the module directly or at a later time. Since I want to use the module now, I click Activate, upon which the app presents us with further information, such as the validity period of the SIM card, etc. Another click on Turn On Now completes the entire procedure. It takes a short moment, and once the process is finished, we're notified of the activation directly in the app. After doing this, we can decide which type of connection the robot should prioritize in the future. Either the device can automatically switch between Wi-Fi and cellular depending on signal strength, or we can temporarily set one of the 2 connection types. In my case, I opted for the cellular connection as I want to test it extensively later in the video. On the home screen of the app, right next to the Bluetooth symbol in the bottom left corner, you can see which connection type the robot is currently using. During my test, it took a few minutes for the module, or rather the SIM card, to connect to the network and for the robot to switch from Wi-Fi to cellular. Consequently, I immediately conducted an initial functional test and started the robot from the app, which, as you can see, worked smoothly. Afterward, I disabled Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on my smartphone and tried the whole process again. And behold, even with just the cellular connection, the lawnmower can be activated and controlled without difficulty, allowing us to start the device from the beach during vacations. Another crucial point to mention is which network the module actually connects to. We can verify this by clicking on the three dots in the top left, then scrolling down to Network and selecting our 4G or network connection. Occasionally, the corresponding service provider appears at the top. In my case, right after setup, it indicated that the module had connected to Vodafone's network, and half an hour later it switched to O2. In both cases, it's the D2 mobile network to which the SIM card connects. I can't say whether the module also connects to the D1 network. In my case, even in rural areas, as you can see from the 4 bars, the connection is very good and sufficiently stable. But that's not all, because besides the cellular connection, the Access Plus module also allows us to use the theft protection feature. However, before we can use this, we need to set up the anti-theft protection first. Let's see how this works now. To activate the anti-theft protection, we first push the robot into the charging station and connect to the device via Bluetooth in the app. Otherwise, we can't activate this function. Then we click on the 3 dots in the top left and then on the anti-theft protection sub-item. There we confirm the small slider Activate Theft Alarm at the top. A warning message appears stating that after activating the alarm function, the PIN will be needed to unlock the device. Don't worry, the default PIN is 4 zeros, so we can safely confirm this message with yes, but for security reasons, we should change the PIN as soon as possible. We'll see how to do this shortly. Once we've done this, we can set the radius of our zone under Geofence extension at the top. The lowest setting here is 10 and the largest is 50 meters. Depending on the size of the lawn area, the geofence should logically cover the entire area to avoid triggering false alarms. If the robot moves out of the set area, for example, because it's being stolen, the device emits an audible alarm, and at the same time, we're also notified on our smartphone so that we can react promptly. The alarm tone emitted by the robot sounds like this, and definitely makes a lot of noise. Based on this, I also conducted a volume measurement for you to better illustrate how loud the device really is. For this, I measured the volume with a decibel meter at a distance of 1 meter and found proud values of almost 90 decibels. According to Google, this is comparable to the noise level of a compressor or a hairdryer. The robot's alarm tone can only be deactivated by entering the PIN. By default, as mentioned earlier, this is 4 zeros. In the app, under the tab Reset PIN Codes, we can easily change the 4-digit PIN as many times as we'd like if we happen to forget it. All in all, I can say that the robot does indeed make a lot of noise and definitely attracts a lot of attention in the event of theft, which the thief may not like. However, if it unfortunately comes to the point where the robot has left the property, we can track the robot via GPS in the app under Find My Mower. A digital map and a highlighted radius showing the current location of the mower are displayed. If we're nearby, we can also play a signal tone to determine the exact position of the mower, which I think is extremely practical for finding the device in such a situation. As great as all this sounds, there's still a small catch, namely that the one-time purchase of the module is not the end of it. Just like with smartphones, mobile network providers charge monthly fees. It's the same for the cellular connection of the SIM card built into the Access Plus module. The fees for the first year are already included in the module's costs. After that, fees are expected to amount to $29.99 per year, which I think is actually quite fair considering the functionality that the module provides. In summary, I can say that the Access Plus module for the new NAVIMOW lawn mowing robots by Segway has truly convinced me. Not only can we now control the lawnmower from anywhere thanks to the cellular connection without needing a good Wi-Fi connection throughout our entire garden, but we also have the huge advantage of a very well-functioning theft protection system, which, in my opinion, is definitely beneficial for every NAVIMOW owner. So, from my side, there's a clear recommendation. What do you think of this module? Feel free to share your opinion, maybe even your experience, down in the comments. I'm looking forward to your feedback. You can find the current prices of the robot and the module to support this channel below in the video description. Thank you very much for your support. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please show it with a thumbs up to support the video. Also, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and activating the bell to not miss any future videos. And with that, I would say stay healthy, take care, and see you next time. Goodbye.